Welcome, I'm Anna from Craft Me a Card, and I love crafting for the crafter, and that is you. Thank you for joining me. Today I want to make a birthday card for very loving, kind, and awesome crafty friend, Rebecca, and I will put the link to her YouTube channel in the description box below. It was her birthday earlier this month, and she loves the color purple, so I thought this purple rose would be perfect to gift to her on a birthday card. So that is what I am going to be sharing with you today. I will be using paper from the online store Bleds. They are found on Amazon, and I will put a link in the top right-hand corner for you in case you would like to see the other patterns that this paper pack contains. And they again are found on Amazon. So first what I do is bring in a pattern paper that will look good with purple. So I pick this white one that is distressed wood. Then I bring in this beautiful solid purple cardstock. So to start assembling my card, the first thing I do is bring in my card base and I add glue to it, and I glue it on top of my first layer. This purple cardstock is going to be my first layer, which is also going to serve like a frame for my card. And I go ahead and with a crafter's knife, I cut around it. I just feel that the base of the card is completely covered when I do it this way. So now I bring in my pattern paper, which is this pretty distressed white pattern paper. I make two little tick marks after I decide the width of my frame, and I go ahead and I cut on these tick marks. I want to distress this layer, so I bring in again the crafter's knife and I just go around it, distressing the edges and sometimes purposely cutting into it just to give it that more grungy look. Then with some antique linen distress ink, I go ahead and with a blender tool, I go around and I add some color to the edges. And I decide to do this as well with my card base, just to make everything coordinate and have the same grungy look. And also again, for these two pieces to match and have the same look, I go around it with the same antique linen. And it just allows for that aged, vintagey look and feel to come through. And I go ahead and I glue this piece on top of my first layer, which is the purple. Then grabbing a real pressed purple rose here, I go ahead and I glue it onto my card base using some hot glue. Yoo-hoo! I want to add a bow, so I go ahead and I bring in this contraption here that is just wonderful. It's very helpful and very easy to use. The first one I made like this was just using a cardboard, a thick cardboard. And then my niece came home with this sign from Little Caesars, which is like plastic-like, a lot more sturdier than cardboard. And I saw so much potential, so I cut it up and I created the same contraption, but with this plastic-like cardboard. But again, you could use the cardboard. And I'll go ahead and link the video that I uploaded showing this contraption more in detail. Going in and adding a thinner little piece of ribbon, I go ahead and I secure this bow in place. And just adjusting and fluffing it, I go ahead and I finish it off. Don't forget to burn the edges of your ribbon. I do the same thing with a thinner ribbon just to add a different texture to this bow. Then bringing in some silicone glue, again the hot glue gun, I go ahead and I stick it on top of my wider bow. I want these pieces that I purposely cut to lift and stay lifted. So I go ahead and I add some hot glue right under these cuts just to make sure that they stay lifted, since the silicone glue will dry hard. I decided to print my sentiment, which is Happy Birthday Beautiful. And using my tag punch that I go to a lot, I go ahead and I cut it out. I do the same technique of distressing the edges of this tag and adding a little bit of color, which is the antique linen. Then again, using my hot glue gun, I attach it to the bows. I want to use these corners here that I got from Globleland. They have these flaps which allow you to like hug the paper. But since I already put these layers down, I decided to cut these flaps and just add them directly onto my card. I go ahead and I also distress these corners just to add a little bit more of that aged look. So I go ahead and I add these corners onto my card base. So I accidentally, trying to flatten where the corner was going to go, I accidentally ripped a little bit of that piece. But no worries, it adds to the distressed look. And to finish the card off, I need those sequin, I do, so I add some iridescent sequin onto it, here, there, and everywhere. And that finishes this birthday card. Super quick, easy, and just beautiful. I really hope that Rebecca enjoys it. Rebecca, my crafty friend, you are so very loved and appreciated. And as I am saying goodbye to you, I want to share this card that I also made using the same process, just different pattern paper from Bleds and different corner dies from Globleland. I hope you find inspiration. I hope you create and be happy. Thank you so very much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the notification bell, like, and comment. Thanks again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh gosh! Grr!